everybody. Tonight we're going to do Breath of the Wild in Master Mode. And I know that the other night my stream was a little bit janky. The picture would occasionally kind of stutter a bit. That may still happen tonight. I'm trying to get a little bit of well, I'm trying to get an Ethernet connection, but I don't have it quite yet. So it may be a little janky again tonight, but hopefully we will have gotten rid of most of that. So I'm going to start a new game here in Master Mode, and we're going to wake up Link.
Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
Okay, so now I have control. And what is all of this stuff? Obviously, this is some sort of technology, and I've been in it and sleeping. And these things on the side of the room, well, I'm not entirely sure what those are yet in the game. Of course, I personally am, but and we're going to go over here and see what this does. Ah, examine.
That is a Sheikah slate. Take it. It will help guide you after your long slumber.
A mysterious tablet with a glowing center. You've never seen this device before, and yet there's something familiar about it. Oh, it looks like there's a chest here to open. Open inventory. Equip weapons, armor, and other gear here. Another chest. Okay. So now I'm clothed. Let's see what I can do in here. I've tried those boxes before and there's like nothing in them. And I don't really have a weapon to open them up anyway. So examine again.
Hold the Sheikah slate up to the pedestal. That will show you the way.
I was adjusting the volume.
Link, you are the light. Our light. That must shine upon Hyrule once again. Now go.
So we found that a light needs to shine in Hyrule. And sprinting, that's a B. Okay, so I'm playing this on Switch 2. X is climb. And the green thing is my stamina bar. Okay, I'm just going to check in right now and make sure that I'm streaming because I don't see any activity in the chat. Okay, great. Okay. It's happening. We just don't have anybody here, I guess. Okay, so I'm going to go back and start looking around. The first time I ever did this was the day that I got my Switch, my first Switch. And I was wandering around and I was not really paying close attention. And I ran right off this cliff to my very first death in the game. So I died like right out of waking up. But I'm going to go around here now, be a little bit more cautious than I was then. And equip this. Let's see. Oops. Equip. Right. Okay, there we go. And see what else I can find. Okay, so that's what the place I woke up in looks like from the outside. And let's see if I can find any resources out here. I can find some, looks like some mushrooms. And just so you know, I started playing this game in 2018, about a year after it released. And I've played it a number of times since then. And I've always really liked this game. It was actually my very first battle game. My first game that involved, you know, fighting enemies and stuff like that, unless it was, or at least up close. Unless it was like Space Invaders or something, some arcade game. And yet another tree branch. Ah, I can switch weapons. So if I go here, I can switch between tree branches. Lovely.
Link. Head for the point marked on the map in your Sheikah slate.
Okay. So I have access to the map now. and there's nothing on the map. But now I have an objective. Follow the Sheikah slate. Which takes me, I guess, in this direction. But I'm actually not going to totally do that right away. First thing I'm going to do is get some resources. Apples are good. And there's an old man here with a dialogue thing next to him. I beg your pardon, I do believe that is my baked apple. You can't just go about taking whatever you please. Oh, forgive me, I could not resist pulling your leg. Please help yourself. An apple and an open flame make for a succulent treat. It is a bit strange to see another soul in these parts. Yeah, I think I'm going to say, who are you? I'll spare you my life story. I'm just an old fool who has lived here alone for quite some time now. What brings a bright-eyed young man like you to a place like this? Where are we? Answering a question with a question, that is fair enough. As I cannot imagine our meeting to be a simple coincidence, I shall tell you. This is the Great Plateau. According to legend, this is the birthplace of the entire kingdom of Hyrule. And he's kind of showing me the kingdom of Hyrule. That temple there, okay. The one that we're looking at. Long ago, it was the site of many sacred ceremonies. Ever since the decline of the kingdom 100 years ago, it has sat abandoned in a state of decay. Yet another forgotten entity, a mere ghost of its former self. So we've actually learned quite a bit here about Hyrule. It's been basically in decay for 100 years. Something bad happened 100 years ago. And I'm going to do something here that I am not supposed to know how to do yet, but I do know how to do. So I'm going to hold a few mushrooms. And I am going to roast them on the fire. And I'm going to try to get them away from the old man because he kind of freaks out. Oh, well, he freaked out anyway. Okay. And the reason I'm doing this is that it gives me actually more... Oh, I'm on the baked page. You see right now, I get 1 heart if I eat this. And now, after I roast it, I still get 1 heart. No, I get, okay, so what was it originally? Okay. This one is 3/4 of a heart baked, and an apple is half of a heart not baked. And it's always good to have as many hearts as you can. Right now, my character only has 3 hearts, but these are replenishing items. And I'm supposed to head straight to the place on my Sheikah slate, but I'm going to take a slight detour because this is master mode. And I am looking for some resources. Okay. Ooh. You're not Hestu. Who's Hestu? But you can see me? I didn't know your kind could see the children of the forest. Well, if you run into Hestu, please return this to him. I'm probably not going to read all of these, by the way. But here in the early game, I think it's a good idea to do that. Oh, and my friends are hiding in lots of different places, too. Don't be shy about poking your nose into suspicious places. Okay, I'm going to swim over here. And I'm going to do it very nice and slow so I don't lose stamina. Because I don't have a lot of stamina. And I ran all the way out of stamina making that maneuver, so. This is not a great weapon. This is a rusty broadsword, but it has 6 hit points, which, if you look at what I've got so far, I've only got 2 hit points on the branches and 3 hit points on the axe. So even though that rusty broadsword will probably break pretty quickly, it's still a better option than the other weapons. And now I'm going to pick something up over here from that temple that the old man showed me. And hope I don't run into any enemies. I don't think I run into any enemies if I go this way right now. This game has mostly kind of atmospheric music. When you're out in the wild, like we are right now, it has, you know, little piano cues and things like that. It's not like you have the big Hyrule Field theme playing all the time like you do in, say, Ocarina of Time or Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask, my gosh, the music is playing constantly. This game is trying to convey more of an atmosphere of aloneness, really, when you think about it. Right now, Link is not quite alone, but very close to alone. And here's a chest up here that I want to grab. And it gives me a soldier's bow, which is actually a really nice weapon. And this tells me how to work with the bow. Right now I don't have any arrows, so it just gives me that nice sound. And we're going to climb back down because if we try to get down another way, we're going to die very fast. I'm going to save, though. And I think this is where I came up. So I can probably find the ladder right around here. Let's see. There's the ladder. I overshot where I came up. Okay. So this is the temple where lots of ceremonies were performed during the height of the Kingdom of Hyrule. And I am not going to go around that way. And I'm not going to go around that way either. Hopefully, I won't run into any enemies on my way over here. I know there's enemies around, but... In fact, there's one. Okay. Well, I got past that threat, and I'm not going to stop here for apples. Wow, these are kind of big choo-choos for the Great Plateau. One of the things that Master Mode does is it elevates the levels of all your enemies. So red bokoblins become blue bokoblins. Although there's theoretically supposed to be at least one red bokoblin in the game. There's one red Lionel in the game, the eternal red Lionel. And I'm going to climb it back this way because otherwise I will attract the attention of that bokoblin. Yeah, I'm going to jump or climb. I can climb. Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, it wasn't a very far thing. And this is the spot on the map. You can see it in the corner there, but I will bring up the map. And here I am. So this is where the voice told me to go. Please watch for falling rocks. I love how it warns him. It looks like I didn't just wake up this tower. It looks like I woke up a lot of towers. And this is the Great Plateau Tower. And now I actually have some detail on my map. So this is the regional map. This is the map of the Great Plateau, of the entire area that's controlled by this tower. Now, ooh.
Try to remember. You have been asleep for the past 100 years. The beast. When the beast regains its true power, this world will face its end. Now then, you must hurry, Link. Before it's too late.
So we've now had 2 or 3 instances of that light with that voice. And we're getting more and more detail about what happened. We know that Link's been asleep for 100 years. We don't really know what happened to him, but we do know that it couldn't have been good. Actually, I'm going to change his weapon, and I can do that here on this menu. I'm going to change it to the rusty sword. And down here, I think that I can just jump. Hope I don't splat. Yep, there we go. I have actually before just kind of climbed down each of these, and it took forever, but once upon a time I discovered that you can kind of jump. And that made it a lot easier. Okay, and there's the last one.
Whoa!
Oh, the old man, and he's gliding in. My, it would seem we have quite the enigma here. This tower and others just like it have erupted across the land, one after another. It is almost as though a long dormant power has awoken quite suddenly. Interesting. If you do not mind me asking, did anything odd occur while you were atop that tower? I heard a voice. Well, now, a voice, you say? And did you happen to recognize this mysterious voice? So my options here are no or just complete befuddlement. I'm going to check befuddlement this time. It seems I have some work to do as far as earning your trust goes. I suppose that is understandable. I assume you caught sight of that atrocity enshrouding the castle. That is Calamity Ganon. I assume he's referring to the beast. 100 years ago, that vile entity brought the kingdom of Hyrule to ruin. It appeared suddenly and destroyed everything in its path. So many innocent lives were lost in its wake. For a century, the very symbol of our kingdom, Hyrule Castle, has managed to contain that evil, but just barely. There it festers, building its strength for the moment it will unleash its blight upon the land once again. It would appear that moment is fast approaching. I must ask you, courageous one, do you intend to make your way to the castle? I do. I had a feeling you would say that. Here on this isolated plateau, we are surrounded on all sides by steep cliffs with no way down. If you were to try to jump off, well, no death could be more certain or more foolish.
Oh.
Of course, if you had a paraglider like mine, that would be quite another story. I think I'm going to go for the impetuous response. Hand it over. Certainly, why not? But there is no such thing as a free item in this world, you know. Let's see now. How about I trade it for a bit of treasure that slumbers nearby? The isolated plateau. After your descent from the tower, the old man told you that the kingdom of Hyrule was destroyed 100 years ago by Calamity Ganon. You heard a voice coming from Hyrule Castle, but you cannot reach it unless you leave the plateau using the paraglider. The old man said that he will give it to you. He will give you the paraglider in exchange for the treasure that lies within a hidden location somewhere. Come, let me show you something. Do you see that structure there? The one shining with a strange light. It began glowing at the exact moment those towers rose up from the ground. I would think such a place might house some sort of treasure, wouldn't you? Treasure for the paraglider. A fair exchange, I believe. Okay. By the way, like I said, I'm not going to read every single line in this game, but I think the old man's lines here at the beginning are important enough to be read. Since we don't have a voice actor voicing them. And as you can see, everything's quite broken around here. It's a shrine. And here's a chest that I'm going to open. Ooh, a ruby. These chests, the ones with X marked on them, these are DLC chests. So yes, I do have the DLC for this game. In addition to scaling up the enemies, the Master Mode also gives them powers of regeneration. So if you hit them... Oh, we're hitting this information. So we've got a magnesis trial. Anyway, if you hit them and then don't hit them again, they regenerate all the health that you took from them when you hit them. I can manipulate metallic objects using magnetism. I can grab onto metallic objects using the magnetic energy that pours forth from the magnesis rune. Objects held in the magnetic snare can be lifted up and moved freely. And I can use the rune, yep, by hitting that left bumper. Okay, so I need to get over here somehow. But you can see that there's no way to get through those bars. But look, there's a metallic object down here. But first, I'm going to go back outside and do a little bit of scavenging because there's some objects that can actually help me with something in this shrine. And now that I've got magnesis, I can acquire those things. This one, I may need to carry this over a little further. I may need to get it on the pavement. I don't really have anything to break it open with, so there we go. Well, there's an arrow. Nice. And a baked apple. And another arrow. You'd be amazed at the things people can actually do with magnesis. I have seen people use magnesis to get mine carts to fly. And while I was holding that up, I noticed that there's a chest here. I can get that chest out of there and get whatever's in it. Amber. So I've got a couple of precious ores right now, and it looks like there's another chest over there. Opal. And finally, there's this. And this doesn't look like it's worth anything except that there's something I can use it for over here. Okay. I want to be careful here because this is a bottomless bog. If I fall over, from the bog, it is not happy. Okay, so I've scavenged the area. There's a little more I could do, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to go back to the shrine and actually get the treasure that the old man wants. Before I do that, I am going to equip ice arrows because I have played this game before. Your first challenge is actually right after this, and I'm going to save. Not that it makes any difference, but I'm going to save and just be ready. And here's your first challenge. It's probably going to hit me. There, we got it. Okay. Yeah, I kind of screwed up. I want to see how many ice arrows I have left. I hope I only use... I think I may have used more than one. My gosh, I used 3. Oh well. The main thing that I wanted to do was be able to get that guardian, that's called a guardian, get that guardian off of the ledge and into the water. And I am going to replenish my health now. Okay. This is why I made those trips. Because that guardian, you saw it, it got rid of 2 of my hearts with just 1 shot. And you know, if I didn't have some resources against it, this could have ended up very differently. Oh, it's actually a pretty short shrine, but it teaches you the very beginnings of magnesis. And I have to say that Guardian is not really that formidable in normal mode. So, this monk is dedicated to helping me defeat Ganon. First, hey, how you doing? How long have you been here? I didn't see you sneak up, but I just did my first shrine.
Oh!
Ah, okay. Well, I hope you had a good time at the gym. It seems you managed to get your hands on a spirit orb. Well done. How did you know? Haha. Clairvoyance, or perhaps something similar. By the way, I'm reading the old man's lines because they're kind of important, but I'm not going to read all the lines in the entire game. As one gets older, it can become more difficult to see what is right before one's eyes. However, that which was once hidden from view can often be crystal clear. But perhaps that is not true for everyone. And then he laughs. The appearance of those towers and the awakening of this shrine. It is all connected to that Sheikah slate you carry on your hip there. I'm not going to be impetuous. I'm going to ask him what he means.
Oh.
It has been quite some time since I have seen that Sheikah slate. Huh, so he's seen this Sheikah slate before. Long ago, a highly advanced tribe known as the Sheikah inhabited these lands. The great power of their wisdom saved this kingdom, time and again. But their ancient technology disappeared long ago, or so it is said. It is interesting, however, to think how something like that survived all this time, hidden away in a shrine. These shrines are tucked away in numerous places all across this land. On this plateau alone, I believe there are still 3 more. Bring me the treasure from each of these shrines and I will give you my paraglider. That wasn't the deal. Oh, well, I suppose I changed my mind. I'm sure that won't be a problem for a young go-getter like you. Since I'm feeling generous, I will also teach you a trick for finding shrines. It's always best to survey the area by looking around from a high point. Let's see here. How about you make your way to the top of that tower again? Are you joking? I'm afraid not, but do not worry. I have another little trick to share with you for your effort. Take a look at the map on your Sheikah slate.
Ooh.
See those blue icons? You should recognize the cave where you woke, the shrine you came from, and the tower. You can travel instantly to any of those places with the Sheikah slate. Nice, so I have waypoints. Or so I heard quite some time ago. I do not know if it actually works as such. So to catch us up, I woke up in a shrine. It's on my map here. And it's called the Shrine of Resurrection. So I woke up in the Shrine of Resurrection. I came out. I was told that I should find a spot that was marked on my map. The spot was that tower. And then I came down from the tower and the old man told me about this shrine and he would give me a paraglider if I went into the shrine and brought back treasure. So that's where we are. And now I am going to go to the tower. Oh, and the other thing is, Link was asleep for 100 years. So, I'm surprised it took you so long to catch up with an old man like me. I mean, come on, man. I just teleported here. How did you leave an old man his secrets? Now then, I wanted you to join me up here so you could use this as a vantage point to search for shrines. Did you know about the scope on your Sheikah slate? Look through it and you can stick a pin anywhere you like to mark on the map. So if I press on my right button and I can place a pin. Great.
Ooh.
The pins on your map serve as reference points for your travels. Okay. So I'm going to just kind of stick pins in all sorts of stuff because you can see a lot from up here. But obviously the first thing I see is a shrine. And I'm going to mark that shrine. And I'm going to mark that tower. And what else do I see? I'm going to kind of just roam around up here and there's another shrine that I can see. And more towers. I am limited in the number of pins I can use, so let me look on my map. And these are not in the area that I have maps for, but I can get them from those towers. And the rest of these are on my map for the Great Plateau. So I can access them without even using the paraglider. But the areas that are outside of the map area, I can only access from the paraglider, which I will get eventually if, oh, there's a shrine, if I complete the old man's quest. So let me go back in here and mark those points again. I believe these were all shrines. That's the marker I use for shrines. And there's a tower over here too. Okay. That seems good enough for now. I think the first shrine I'm going to go to is this one with the red marker. But before I do that, I think I might want to go back to the Shrine of Resurrection rather than wandering around on the Great Plateau all by myself. Or no, I'll go back to this shrine. Wandering around at night. I don't think that any of the nighttime monsters, except maybe the bats, are awake yet. Oh, wait, no! We've got stalkoblins. I'm retreating because I only have 3 hearts. Yeah, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to the Shrine of Resurrection and sit in front of a fire. Stalkoblins are not difficult, but I only have a 3 hit point weapon. So I don't really want to confront any monsters just yet. And the old man had a fire. So I can go over here and warm myself and pass the time. If I ask him, he'll probably tell me all about sitting in front of the fire, but I'm just going to do it. You can pass time by the fire. I'm going to sit until morning. Okay. Now let's find that shrine. And keep a wide berth of the monsters that I don't really have enough resources yet to fight. I could fight a choo-choo. But ooh, I hear some bokoblin voices. Ooh. There's some bokoblins down there. Let's see. I can't remember whether I want to go down or stay up. I think I'll stay up. Yeah, it looks like it's over there. Also, I'm going to get myself killed in just a minute as an object lesson. Ooh! Whoa! One of the biggest differences in Master Mode is that there is a big monster out here that you do not want to tangle with unless you're one of the elite players. You see it. There's a Lionel, and it's a Crusher Lionel, and it's a white-maned Lionel. It's got a really great bow, and it's got a really powerful weapon. And I want that bow, but I don't want it right now. So, we will wait until we're better equipped to fight that Lionel. And obviously, I am going to go this way. But yeah, that was a big shocker when people first started playing Master Mode. They were like, oh my gosh, there's a Lionel on the Great Plateau. Wait a minute, I thought it was supposed to be just a lot of low-level monsters, you know? And it's like, well, there's this high-level monster. Really high-level monster. The thing about this particular game is that Lionels are harder than Ganon. They're a more formidable foe than Ganon. So, except in Master Mode, I think Ganon is difficult in Master Mode because he regenerates so fast. So you have to have a particular strategy, or at least I do. Now, what I usually do is I usually stick around the edges to get to this shrine because of some foes that you can encounter in here. But I'm going to save. And get killed. I don't know. I don't think this one is active. That one is. I don't even have a shield. You can hide from their sights, but I'm going to get killed now. Yep, that did it. Game over. Oh well. Okay. And this is why I hang around on the edges. I'm trying to bypass that guy entirely. Fortunately, he's a decayed Guardian. You saw a really kind of minor version of Guardians in the shrine. But this guy is a decayed Guardian, and so he doesn't have his legs. He's kind of stuck there that way. You have to kind of get close to him in order to activate him. And beyond this wall, there's also a bunch of Guardians that you can encounter. I'm not going to do that right now. And this shrine doesn't really require a lot of drama. The bomb trial. So I got two types of bombs, one that rolls and one that doesn't roll. And the one that doesn't roll is what I'm going to use here. And another one that doesn't roll. And yes, I could show you what it looks like if I don't step away from the bomb. Oh, nice. Now I've got a Traveler's Claymore. Oh, and here's something that you can do as well. You can throw a bomb. Okay. Oops. So you can activate it from a distance. Okay, let me show you what happens if I don't step away from the bomb. I don't think... No, I'm going to do that after... I'll do that after the shrine. I should probably finish the shrine first because I'm not entirely sure that I can... I'm not entirely sure that it doesn't destroy all of my hearts, and I don't want that because I want to finish the shrine without having to redo anything. But then I can blow myself up. I have never actually figured out the purpose of this ball that's going between those things, because I don't see any place in the shrine to actually use that ball. And here's a little shrine mechanic that's used from time to time. This device will get a round ball, a round bomb. Oops. Now I have to wait for it to regenerate. There we go. There we go. To get it to the... whatever that thing's called. Okay, and that's how I can get up there. These are not very long falls. I don't take any damage jumping down there, so I don't need a paraglider or anything. Okay. So I've got 2 shrines done on the Great Plateau. I need 2 more in order to get off the Great Plateau. I find it interesting that these monks' desiccated bodies have been here for millennia. Okay, I'm not going to use my bomb here because, well, you've seen what happens when some of these guardians can be activated, I believe. So now I'm going to demonstrate what happens if you don't move away from a bomb. I should probably... No, I'll save first. Okay, eliminated 2.5 hearts. But I thought that would be kind of amusing. To see. Let's see. That's good enough for now. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Shrine of Resurrection. You can see where I died with that guardian. These clothes that I have, they don't have any defense at all. I mean, it's like, if you look at them, they're both 1. So there's really not a whole lot of... they don't have a high armor rating, let me put it that way. They have a very low armor rating. Well, I can actually get something over here this time. This is a breakable wall. And I can stick my bomb in front of it. And move away. And break the wall. And there's a chest. And it's opal. I'm actually doing pretty good. I have 2 opal, 2 amber, and 1 ruby. Which means that when I get to a place where I can actually buy stuff, I'll have a little bit of money. Because, of course, as usual, you can sell to vendors. Back at the Temple of Time. There's something I want to do. Nearby here. But I've kind of... Where is it? I want to find the entrance to the cold region. It's obviously not up here. I don't want to go into the cold region yet. I just have some resources I want to get from there. Let me see on my map. Huh. It's interesting because I saw it a little while ago and I was like, I should go over there and grab some hot peppers. And now I can't see where it is. There it is. I went too far. Yeah, the path goes here. So here's some hot peppers. I'm going to grab these. I actually just got like 6, and I'm going to go inside here very briefly. I think it's to the right. It's going to tell me that I'm going to start losing health. So I got out of there before I lost any health. And I should probably make my way to shelter before it gets dark. Okay, I see where I'm going. I should probably go down. Because I don't have a paraglider. That's one of the things when you've played this game before, is you have to remind yourself that you don't have a paraglider. I'm going to grab some stuff. Here's a rush room. That'll help with speed elixirs. Or not elixirs, but food buffs. There's a bunch of nice food buffs right around the old man. Or right around this old log building. So let's see, I'm going to go into the cabin as well. And here's a couple of spicy peppers. And baked apple, good. Stamella shroom. Another axe. Ooh, I can use it as a throw weapon. I cannot use the bed. And I can read something here. The old man's diary. On this desolate plateau, the only pleasure that brings me comfort is cooking. And today I outdid myself. Truly, I created the perfect dish. I call it spicy meat and seafood fry. This recipe not only restores health, but it also keeps me warm even when traveling in the snowy mountains. With this dish on my side, I no longer have need of that itchy, warm doublet. I do not know how I allowed this to happen, but it seems I forgot to write down a very important recipe. I know it contained raw meat and spicy pepper. However, I simply cannot remember what else I used. My age is catching up to me. Sadly, on this lonely plateau, I have only my own knowledge and memory to rely on. Still, if I did find someone who knew the missing ingredient, I would happily reward them with my warm doublet. However, it seems unlikely that such a miraculous wish will ever be fulfilled. I wonder if he's talking about me. But personally, I don't want to find that ingredient. I'm going to grab a pot lid. And it shows me how to do my shield, which is a good idea. And I think I am going to... Is it raining yet? I'm going to talk to the old man. What are you doing? This body of mine isn't what it used to be. Recovering from a bout of hard work takes a while. If you're hungry, I have an empty pot you can use to cook yourself a meal. Simply open your inventory, grab hold of your ingredients, and toss them in. Try to consider how the ingredients will complement one another. You can even make a dish that increases your stamina. Well, I had all those stamella shrooms. Maybe that will help. It's all about being creative and trying different things. Well, I'm not going to be incredibly creative. I have 5 stamella shrooms. I'm going to toss them all in. That will replenish my stamina and give me a little bit extra. Energizing mushroom skewer will also give me 5 hearts. And then I want to cook up a couple of these. It's not exactly what he was talking about with the combo. Spicy meat and seafood fry. But it gives me 12 minutes and 30 seconds low-level cold resistance. And now I should be able to survive in the cold. And I'm going to sit until morning. I don't really need a torch, but what I do need, let's see. No, I can do it with this. So he wants to know how my shrine exploration's going. I've done 2 of them. And he's cutting down firewood. But he's telling me how to get it to fall where I want it. So I need to turn my hips so that they face where I want the tree to land. So I can use his axe. Okay. I'm going to use this tree. This whole thing of the hips is actually kind of important later on. That's not where I want it to go. Oh, nice. I got korok branches. Korok leaves. And I'm going to drop that and pick up another korok leaf. Oh, that was dumb. But now I have some firewood. And I still have another tree. My goodness, it's dropping korok leaves today. That's really nice. The last time I did this, I didn't get any korok leaves. Okay, let me save before I fall to my death. Okay, there we go. Now, there we go. There's a bunch of ledges over here that help you scale this. But I also have some stamina replenishing food, so I should be able to get up this pretty easily. Where's the next ledge? Oh, it's over to my left. Okay. Oh, and there's a rush room over here. I don't think it rains on the Great Plateau until after you get off of it. I hope that's the case. That's just Link sweating. I don't think you learned the lesson of climbing slick surfaces on the Great Plateau. Okay, where's my next one? Ooh, okay. Whoa! How did that happen? Okay. Hey. Yeah, I'm doing pretty well. I just weirdly died falling off one of these ledges that I thought I had a foothold on. And I have to grab those rushrooms again. That's okay. Maybe I just shouldn't get so greedy. Rushrooms are a great resource. I think that's the first time I've ever died climbing up this cliff. Yeah, I'm new to streaming. I'm not new to this game, but I'm new to streaming. Now, hopefully... Oh, I see what happened. Thank you. Now I am going to make the last climb, and hopefully I have enough stamina to do it. If I don't, I will just eat my stamella shroom, or whatever it's called, my I'll check it when I get up to the top. I think they give you just enough stamina to make it to the top of this. No, maybe not. That was to prevent another needless death. You're in California. I came from California. I'm from the Los Angeles area, from Anaheim, but I live in Falls Church, Virginia. Okay. Okay. A stasis trial. Oh, I'm not planning to be a full-time streamer. I'm a retired person with lots of other obligations, actually. Just going to wait for the next ball. There we go. And now I get an actually not so bad weapon. It's like 12 hit points. So now I've got, let's see, what have I got in terms of my weapons? I've got a long sword, and I've got a sledgehammer. And what I want right now is the sledgehammer. This is one of the cool things that you can do with stasis. You can move things out of your way. I'm usually a little cautious around here because it's a long way down. Okay, that's 3 shrines. And now I just got to find the 4th. And let's see. Go into my map. That X is where I died. It only does the last death, so like the one that I intentionally did over here in the Eastern Abbey, that is no longer marked on my map. And this one was totally accidental, and I figured out what I did wrong. I thought that I had reached the ledge, and I had not. But I'm going to mark this now with a pin again, because that will make it easier to see. Okay, it's telling me that I'm cold. So now it's time to do the spicy cold resistance thing. I've got 12 minutes and 30 seconds of this. And I want to find a good way down. Okay. I definitely don't want to go that way. And I think I want to stick as far over here as possible. To get past those enemies. Running in snow is actually, it actually slows you down a bit. I definitely don't want that guy coming after me. I don't think there's any enemies back this way. Let's see. I didn't see that from the top of the Great Plateau Tower. Hi, Father Evan, how are you? And you gave me a nice link greeting with hiya. Let's see, I'm trying to find a way down. And there's my shrine. I'm on my 4th shrine. And I'm going to complete this stone circle before I go to my shrine. And it's actually a pretty easy one. With these, you just find the direction of the missing stone, if there's only one missing stone, and then use stasis to identify where the missing stone is located and bring it back. And you get one of these guys. Yahaha! Okay. My second Korok. The reason I'm collecting Korok seeds will become evident in short order. Let's see. Yahaha, yep. My funniest one was in Lurelin Village, that one with the sort of ship deck. And I hadn't actually thought through the one of the ways to do it, which is you can actually just walk up there. But if you put a tree down, so now I've got bomb arrows. I will like these bomb arrows in the next shrine. In fact, I am going to change to my bomb arrows. But in the Lurelin one, I was trying to use an octo balloon to lift the rock and then shoot it with a bomb arrow. And I blew myself up in the process, but I had a lot of hearts, so it didn't make any difference really. But as soon as I got to my feet, I discovered that not only had I gotten the rock to the deck, but that it had actually gone straight into the place that it was supposed to be. And so I get up from my back and I hear the yahaha. And it was like so funny. I actually have video of that, you know. I immediately went and, you know, captured the last 30 seconds. Okay. Cryonis. I can create a pillar of ice from a water surface. That could be useful. Like, I've got some water here. It's not much, but it's apparently enough to use Cryonis. And you can even use it here to get past these bars. Okay. I want to make sure. Yep. I am totally going to cheese this. I don't think this is the way you're supposed to do it, but who cares? As long as you get through the shrine. Oops! I blew myself up. Lovely. I should have gotten to him sooner. Okay, I'll try that again and get it to him sooner. Okay. Yeah, hoisted petards. Yeah, it's like, I have this great strategy, but you kind of have to execute it properly. Okay, how far back is he? There he is. Again! Oh my gosh! He moves so fast. I think I'm not going to do the Cryonis slab next time. It's only a good cheese if you can pull it off. Okay. It won't make any difference if I save, so I may as well not even save. There he goes. Okay. Note to self, no second Cryonis slab in this room. Ah, ancient gear, nice. Okay, I guess I can go either way on this one. Oh! I may as well get whatever's in that chest while the getting's good. Well, okay. My inventory's full. What do I need to get rid of for a spear that I'm never going to use? I can get rid of one of my axes. Because I will probably never use it again. Okay. Okay, I've been playing since 8:30 and I have already finished the 4th shrine.
Oh!
With this, you have now acquired all of the spirit orbs from the shrines on this plateau. Extraordinary. That means it is finally time. Link, it is finally time for me to tell you everything. But first... Imagine an X on your map with the 4 shrines as the endpoints. Find the spot where those lines intersect. Okay. I shall wait for you there. He called me Link. Do you understand? Oh my goodness! He's dematerializing. Okay, I still have 5 minutes of cold resistance. Okay, so I did the entire cold area in like 7.5 minutes. Let's see, the shrines. There. I fell off one of the ledges. I can't believe it. I fell off one of the ledges there. And there, and there, and there. And what is in between them all? It looks like it's the Temple of Time. So I'm going to go to the Temple of Time. But first, I'm going to go to the Shrine of Resurrection. And it's nighttime, and I don't want to deal with stall goblins or anything like that, so I'm probably... Oh wait, the old man's fire goes out after this, doesn't it? So I may as well just make my way to the Temple of Time. Yep. No fire. No means of starting one. Wait, I do have a means of starting one, but... because I have some fire arrows. But... I may as well just go to the Temple of Time. Okay. I don't know why she's not glowing. She usually is. There she goes. But usually I see her glowing before I even get here. Okay, 4 spirit orbs. I'm going to take a heart container for now. Yep. I'll get a stamina vessel next time. Go and bring peace to Hyrule. Quite the mission.
Oh!
Okay. I already know how to get up there because I've been up there. That's how I got my bow. Oh, and here's the ladder. I'm not actually supposed to get that bow until this point, but it's kind of a reward for the Great Plateau. but I wanted a decent bow.
Well done there, young one. Now then, the time has come to show you who I truly am. I was King Rome Bosphoramos Hyrule. I was the last leader of Hyrule, a kingdom which no longer exists. The Great Calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path, a century ago. It was then that my life was taken away from me. And since that time, here I have remained in spirit form. I did not think it wise to overwhelm you while your memory was still fragile. So rather than that, I thought it best to assume a temporary form. Forgive me. I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago. To know Calamity Ganon's true form, one must know the story from an age long past. The Demon King was born into this kingdom, but his transformation into malice created the horror you see now. Stories of Ganon were passed from generation to generation in the form of legends and fairy tales. But there was also a prophecy. The signs of a resurrection of Calamity Ganon are clear, and the power to oppose it lies dormant beneath the ground. We decided to heed the prophecy and began excavating large areas of land. It wasn't long before we discovered several ancient relics made by the hands of our distant ancestors. These relics, the divine beasts, were giant machines piloted by warriors. We also found the Guardians, an army of mechanical soldiers who fought autonomously. This coincided with ancient legends, oft repeated throughout our land. We also learned of a princess with a sacred power, and her appointed knight, chosen by the sword that seals the darkness. It was they who sealed Ganon away using the power of these ancient relics. 100 years ago, there was a princess set to inherit a sacred power, and a skilled knight at her side. It was clear that we must follow our ancestors' path. We selected 4 skilled individuals from across Hyrule and tasked them with the duty of piloting the divine beasts. With the princess as their commander, we dubbed these pilots champions, a name that would solidify their unique bond. The princess, her appointed knight, and the
Good
rest
night.
of the champions were on the brink of sealing away Ganon.
Hope you enjoyed what you saw.
But nay. Ganon was cunning, and he responded with a plan beyond our imagining. He appeared from deep below Hyrule Castle, seized control of the Guardians and the divine beasts, and turned them against us. The champions lost their lives, those residing in the castle as well. The appointed knight, gravely wounded, collapsed while defending the princess. And thus, the kingdom of Hyrule was devastated absolutely by Calamity Ganon. However, the princess survived to face Ganon alone.
Link, you are our final hope. The fate of Hyrule rests with you.
That princess was my own daughter, my dear Zelda. And the courageous knight who protected her right up to the very end. That knight was none other than you, Link. You fought valiantly when your fate took an unfortunate turn. And then, you were taken to the Shrine of Resurrection. Here you now stand, revitalized 100 years later. The words of guidance you have been hearing since your awakening are from Princess Zelda herself. Even now, as she works to restrain Ganon from within Hyrule Castle, she calls out for your help. However, my daughter's power will soon be exhausted. Once that happens, Ganon will freely regenerate himself, and nothing will stop him from consuming our land. Considering that I could not save my own kingdom, I have no right to ask this of you, Link. But I am powerless here. You must save her, my daughter, and do whatever it takes to annihilate Ganon. Somehow, Ganon has maintained control over all 4 divine beasts, as well as those guardians swarming around Hyrule Castle. I believe it would be quite reckless for you to head directly to the castle at this point. I suggest that you make your way east out to one of the villages in the wilderness. Follow the road out to Kakariko Village. There you will find the Elder Impa. She will tell you more about the path that lies ahead. Consult the map on your Sheikah slate for the precise location of Kakariko Village. Make your way past the twin summits of the Dueling Peaks. From there, follow the road as it proceeds north.
Oh, and I get the paraglider. So it's an item I received from the king on the Great Plateau. It allows you to sail through the sky. And I have completed the Great Plateau in slightly less than 2 hours. And I'm supposed to seek out Impa. I'm gonna, let's see, I am going to go down here somewhere. And see if I can get an item that I want. I can't remember exactly where it is. I think it might be over here. Maybe not. There should be a bokoblin. These items are actually incredibly useful in Tears of the Kingdom, but they're not quite as useful in Breath of the Wild. I think I may have just overshot it. Maybe this area right here. Is there a bokoblin over there? probably need to look on my map. So there's one area here, there's one area there, there's one area there. One of them has the item I want. I can't remember which one of those I did. I'll try this. Huh. What I want to get is the Hylian trousers before I get off the Great Plateau, because that gives me just a slight bit more defense than what I've got right now. They're in a chest down here somewhere. There's the bokoblin. Okay, so what I want is I want that ice arrow. All right. And now where? Here it is. Here's my chest. And now I can change into some decent trousers. And get off the Great Plateau. So my question is, should I follow the old man's advice and go straight to Kakariko Village? Or should I take a little side trip? I think I'm going to take a small detour. What's nice is now I have access to all of these. He can't follow me up here. And it's 4:30 a.m. He only has about 30 more minutes on the clock to... I'm going over to this island over here. And I'm going to get another object that I want. Or another item that I want, I should say. These choo-choos are not as big as the ones that were on the Great Plateau. I'm going to be getting a DLC item over here. But I think I am going to need to look for it this way. Yep, there it is, right there. An eerie mask, passed down from ancient times. Wearing it makes it harder for certain enemies to spot you. It's a rather rare find. So Majora's Mask, of course, is the name of one of the Zelda games, and this mask is at the center of that game. I'm also going to go back to the Great Plateau. Go up here. Go to the old man's cabin. Oh, and actually there's something that I can do over here too before I do that. I can move this big boulder. Oh, but first I want to change weapons. Maybe I could do it with the spear. Nice. Being able to use a weapon that I'm never actually going to be using in the game. Okay, so I got a traveler's bow. It's not as good as the soldier's bow that I already have, but it's kind of good to have. So I'm going to go back to the old man's cottage or cabin. Because there's something in there that I want as well. He promised me this if I gave him that recipe, but he will also give it to you even if you don't give him the recipe. So I always take the path of least resistance. I don't do the recipe. And I'm going to put the doublet on and go into the cold area rather than waste my meal. I can actually get that chest now. Oh. Let's see if we can make this paraglide jump. Yeah. Opal. Okay. You don't want to get into the icy water. That's just not good. Okay. I'm actually not going to be taking out that bokoblin camp just yet. I don't really have a lot of resources for that. But I'll take care of them soon enough. Right now what I want to do is I want to go up this pillar, and then I kind of want to go off to the side. You know, that was stupid. I don't have enough rings of stamina to do that. To jump up the pillar. I need to actually slowly climb it. And making a meal of mushrooms isn't really worth it for something like this. There's almost always a chest at the top of these pillars. Nice, 5 arrows. So let me see. The yellow rock area is over there. Okay. I know where another shrine is, but I'm not ready to do it. I'll just mark it. So that gives me my bearings. Yeah, right over here I can see that there's a big horse thing. So I'm going to head over there. Which is exactly where I wanted to go. Yes, there actually are people in Hyrule. Believe it or not. And this is a stable. I can't actually get a horse here. Though I can house a horse here. And I can use the stable for sleeping and resources of various kinds. And here's a shrine. I'm only going to open the shrine. I'm not actually going to do it right now. But by opening this shrine, I have access to this stable anytime I want it. And I'm going to open something else as well. Yeah. Okay, that gets me past the bridge. There's actually enemies by the bridge. And I don't want to deal with the enemies. So I'm not really going in the direction that the old man wanted me to go in, but there is a method behind my madness. Oh, and here's some apples. Ooh, nice. The blue light is on. Okay, we're going to see something really cool in a few minutes. If we can make our way up there. I accidentally hit Cryonis at the same time I was making a jump. By the way, I'm not going to open up this part of the map for a while. I just happen to know this location. And there's a reason I'm not going to open up this part of the map for a while, but we can get to that in a little bit. It just auto-saved. Madness behind. Actually, you know, I'm actually doing this for you. I went off the beaten path. I did not do what the old man told me to do. I did not go straight to Kakariko Village. I am going here instead. I thought you would appreciate it. My rebellion against the quest. Let's see. Ooh. Yep. I'm right where I want to be. These will give me a lot of extra stamina when I cook them. And here's another shrine. And I'm going to open this and not do it right now. Just using this as a waypoint. This was actually one of my most hated shrines for a long time, and I've finally kind of come to terms with it, but I'm definitely not going to do it tonight. And I'm not going to waste a fire arrow on that right now. I'll wait until I have a fire weapon. And this is so cool. We came up here with the blue light. It doesn't usually happen like this. You don't usually get the blue light straight off the Great Plateau. That creature in the middle, that is the king of the mountain. And these little creatures are bluepeas. Now the king of the mountain, I do not have the stamina to tame him right now. You can tame him briefly and ride him around Hyrule, but you cannot keep him. You can't register him at a at a stable. But the neat thing about the King of the Mountain is that he really is the King of the Mountain. It's because of him. It's because of him that there are no monsters on this mountain. So aside from some stalkoblins, you're pretty safe up here at night. And there's also some more Endura carrots around here. Oh, and there's a chest. I don't think I'm going to do the chest right now because it will disrupt the king holding his court. The first time I ever made it up to this mountain, it was because of him. Oh, and the thing that you should know about this is that Satori Mountain is actually a tribute to Satoru, I can't remember his last name or his surname, was like the head of Nintendo game development or something, and he worked very extensively on Breath of the Wild, but he died before they were able to release it, and the developers created this mountain as a tribute to him. And this is one of... Okay, thank you, Satoru Iwata. They created this mountain as a tribute to him. And now I'm going to go explore the mountain just a little bit because there's some really cool stuff here. This mountain is full of all sorts of resources. Like this grove. This is one of the best groves in the entire game. Hardy durians. And when I cook these up, you'll see why. Some of these trees I have to navigate a little bit. Okay, what have I got left down here? Did I get all of them? There's 5 trees that have hardy durians on them. I missed that one. I could just destroy the grove and pick up the hardy durians from the ground, you know, like bomb the trees and all of that, but I feel that's disrespectful to the King of the Mountain, so I don't do that. Will I make it? Yes, I made it. Okay, now there's one more place I want to go on the mountain. For now. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my goodness, there's even a star piece in the distance. I'm not going to try to go for that, but look, I could get a star piece that fell from the sky. Is that what? Yeah, I think that's the rock I need. Those bones should actually be moving. Maybe it's because it's my first trip to the mountain. Hello. Ah! Yeah. One of the hazards of this game is getting hit by a goat. I just got a diamond. I tend to give goats a wide berth. I just broke my spear, but that's okay. There's plenty of weapons in this game. And that wasn't a weapon I was invested in anyway. So let's see. What I want is to go right down here. Oh, first I want to mark this rock. Okay. And then go down here. I should probably take care of the glowing stones first. Because they won't be glowing in a few hours during daylight. They're just easier to find at night. And you can't find them with stasis, so it's just easier to do them at night. I love zap shrooms. This is actually a mushroom grove as well as a luminous stone grove. Oh, and I can't do that yet. I was going to take a picture of the luminous stones, but I can't. Iron shroom, that's one of my favorites. Let's see. And there's a bloopy, but I'm not going to shoot the bloopy right now. I'm going to do more stones first before I do the mushrooms. There's also all sorts of beetles on this tree when the blue light's on. I don't know what kind of beetles they are off the top of my head, but well, I probably should have stealthed that one. So I think I took care of all of the stones. Now it's time to find all the shrooms. The great thing about this game is that there are plenty of resources that if you know how to use them, they can really help you out. Like those iron shrooms. That will give me plenty of defense. And I may need that before I actually get some good defensive armor. Okay, that's probably all I'm going to do for now. And I'm going to go back to the Great Plateau and finally head in the direction that I'm supposed to be going. I can't even remember what this was. Oh yeah, I do. It was a shrine. So, Great Plateau. Tower. In this game, you don't really get to select whether you prefer two-handed weapons or one-handed weapons or whatever, especially in the early game. In the early game, you just kind of got to go with whatever you have on hand, and they will break. And personally, that doesn't bother me because there are so many weapons in this game. They're like all over the place. Let's see, where's the Dueling Peaks? There's the Dueling Peaks. Okay. So I am going to head in that general direction, but not through the ruins. I'm supposed to be making my way over to the marker on my map, the one that's got a little radar thing around it. I'm going to see if I can get up this pillar. Okay, definitely not worth that. It wasn't worth the loss of stamina from paragliding in. I can probably make it up the pillar just from the ground. And once again, there is a chest at the top of this. And there's a box at the bottom. Yeah. These usually have just enough stamina. Enough for one ring of stamina. And I've got sapphire now. I'm rich. I'm doing very well. I haven't actually cashed anything in yet, but I've got, let's see. I've got 2 amber, 3 opal, 7 luminous, 1 ruby, and 1 sapphire. That's going to give me a lot of money when I get to a vendor. And I got arrows. I tend not to buy arrows. I tend to just find them where they are. And this is probably a debt that Breath of the Wild owes to Skyrim. be honest. That you find a lot of resources in the environment. Because that's not the way it was in earlier Zelda games for the most part. Arrows belong in these. Yes. Yes, they do. I am going to do this shrine because it's pretty easy and pretty fast. At least hopefully I'm successful in it. It's basically just using your paraglider. The first time I did it, it was so hard for me because I was not used to using the paraglider. But hopefully I'm better at the paraglider now than I was then. There is another chest, by the way, in this shrine, but I never have been able to figure out how to get over there without looking it up. And successfully completing a shrine will replenish your hearts. Okay. Wonder what ore this is. It looks like it's just maybe flint or something. Okay, that's where I want. I want the bridge. And in master mode, these bokoblin floating things, or these enemy floating things might pop up on the bridge, but they didn't this time. Yeah, I'm not going to talk to that guy right now. If you look around here, there it is. It's ready to just go up into the air at any time. And it's got a chest in it, but I don't want to deal with that right now. I'll deal with all these guys later. I could do a flower trail here, but I'm not going to do that right now. A flower trail is another type of Korok. Ooh, okay, so there's some choo-choos that I don't want to do. Mainly because it's just a waste of my weapon. And I don't have a lot of weapons yet. This is one of the only good weapons I have. I suppose I could do it with a tree branch. Okay, I'm going to paraglide over to that pillar. Whoa! Is it raining? No, it's not raining. Okay, I'm going to go back and paraglide over to the pillar again. Usually, usually rain is what causes slickness. Okay, let's do it. Hopefully I'll manage it this time. There we go. Lake was just sweating so much it created a slick surface. That's my headcanon. Ooh, nice. 100 rupees. That's a good size choo-choo. Okay, there's my flower. I am going to do this flower trail. There it is. You just follow the flower, basically. This flower is going to go across this rushing river. So I'm going to have to use ice pillars or cryonis. And the last one is over there. Okay. Now, following that trail has an added advantage. It puts you right next to the tower. And this is a good tower to pick up right now because this is the area that I'm going into. And you always want to get a second tower as soon as you can because the second tower gives you a nice perk. And I'm climbing so slowly. But I should be able to deal with that pretty soon. Okay. I didn't actually have to climb the very first tower that I did. Because that was... It had not yet risen into the sky. So now I've got 2 regions, and I got the Sheikah sensor. So the sensor reacts when you're close to shrines that you have not yet visited. If you head in the direction where the reaction is strongest, you should be able to find the shrine. You get this with your second tower, no matter what your second tower is. So if you were to do a tower in a different area, you would get the Sheikah sensor there. And I immediately get a signal. Let's see. It's in this direction. Okay. There's actually 3 shrines in this direction. And here's the shrine. And I'm going to do this one too, because there's a really good item in here that will make climbing a lot easier. Timing is critical. Yeah. Yeah, you're not going to get very far in this shrine without timing. Except on the first one. Now, let's see. This one is the hardest one, I think. There we go. Now I can go straight and get my spirit orb, or I can go down here and grab a barrel. And I'm going to grab a barrel. And get it up on that ledge with magnesis. I can also just pick it up. I'm going back over here to put this barrel on the trigger. Because then that opens a different path that I can use to get the item that I want. I keep hitting that thing. Ah, no! I missed. Okay. I lost one heart by missing, and I don't get marked as dying. So there's no X on the map here. And now I can just go grab my spirit orb. And I've got the climber's bandana, which I will put on in a minute. Okay. There's a destination I want to make it to before I close down the stream for the night. As you can hear, there is another shrine nearby. I'm not going to do that shrine tonight. And it requires a bit of climbing. And speaking of climbing... Wow, I've got a lot of resources here. Speaking of climbing, I am going to put on my climber's bandana. And I'm also going to put on just my regular shirt. And ignore the ore for now. And ignore the Bokoblin camp for now. Wow, okay. I need to keep my finger off that trigger. I'm not used to playing with the Pro Controller. I'm gonna do this one. Yeah, it looked like it might have some rare ore in it, so I got a sapphire now. And obviously I don't want to be doing any climbing because now it's slick. I can't actually get into this shrine right away because, as you see, it's got spikes all around it. So I want to climb up there and paraglide down, but I'm not going to be able to do that in the rain. So I am going to go into the stable and actually, I don't have any money. Oh, but I have a vendor. It's our favorite vendor, Beetle. Beetle actually is a vendor who is in multiple Zelda games. So this is just the latest iteration of Beetle, and I'm going to sell him some stuff. So we're just going to stick with Beetle. And he has a beetle-shaped backpack.
Wow!
Okay, I'm gonna sell him stuff.
Wow! Wow! Yay!
So 3 hours ago, Link woke up on the Great Plateau.
Wow! Yay!
And now he has over 2,000 rupees. Okay, that's all. Okay, I think I can afford a room. Or a bed.
Hi.
Yeah, I'll take a regular bed. Oh wait, a soft bed? That usually gives me a couple of extra temporary hearts. Yeah, I'll do a soft bed. I have a lot of money.
Oh.
Oh, it only gives me one extra heart. But that's okay. The yellow hearts are temporary hearts. They don't last. And let's see, now that the rain is gone, I should be able to... I'm gonna grab some wood. some apples. This is all free for the taking. And let's see. I have flint, I think. I don't usually use flint, so let's see if I know how to get this fire started. Well, yeah, I did. I got the fire started. Great. So I'm going to do some cooking. Now we'll see what the hardy durians do. They give me 20 extra temporary hearts. And let's see what the Endura carrots do. They give me 2 extra stamina wheels. And what's great is that these are not time limited, like some other things are. Like the iron shrooms, you only get a few minutes of those effects. Same thing with the zap shrooms. But these, I can actually go into my meals and have a nice hearty meal. And now I have 21 temporary hearts. And I can eat this and have a bunch of stamina. And I am going to now sit until morning. Again. Ooh, it's raining. I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to save and shut down the game for the night. And we'll pick up again and get to Kakariko Village and do all of that early game stuff. So, I will be streaming Breath of the Wild again next Friday and Saturday. And I will be streaming Skyrim on Monday and Wednesday. So I hope you drop by. And I'll see you next time. Good night.